And we are live. Welcome, friends. Happy Monday. Red 2. Greetings. Levi Elijah says, hello, everyone. I'm doing some legendary bounties, trying to get the level 20 Breton on Red Dead Online. Well done, friend. I'm glad you're here. That is optimally how I want people to watch my videos and this live stream slash podcast where you just kind of play your video games and have me on in the background, keeping you company, and we can have a nice conversation. I have to fix the thumbnail. It was confusing me. It says chapter 6 cutscenes when in reality it's chapter 5. Didn't have enough time to do that, and that's what I get for making multiple thumbnails, batching them out. How's everyone's Monday? Hope you are well. And we are back in Guarma, the shortest chapter in the game, with also the shortest cutscenes. So we'll only be on for about 48 minutes or an hour tonight. Depends on the chat. Depends on you guys. I'm happy to stay longer if the conversation is interesting or the chat warrants it. And then on Friday we will have chapter 6, which is almost 3 hours of cutscenes. It's one of the longest chapters with the most cutscenes. But of course I'm showing you both endings with Micah and or rather saving John and not saving John. Metro Edits, hello. Hello to you, friend. Glad you're here. We are stuck in Guarma for the time being. First playthrough, I hated this chapter. I was not, did not want to be here. Levi Elijah says, I feel like Guarma is perfect for Arthur, hot for his sickness. Yeah, but it's damp. It's very humid. He needs a dry heat like New Austin. So, but you know, he hasn't even been diagnosed. The diagnosis actually comes in chapter 6. I thought it was in chapter 4 because it's in Saint Denis, and I just assumed all things Saint Denis related happened in chapter 4, but it's actually chapter 6. So it's not until the full-on end of the game until Arthur gets really sick. So he's only kind of sick here. Metro Edit says, I didn't really like this chapter. No, this chapter has grown on me as time and the game progressed and as the channel progressed. But first playthrough, I hated being here. I was worried about the horse we left behind. I was worried about my satchel, all my money, all my weapons. I thought we would have to start over. I thought they were at the bottom of the ocean. And as far as challenges go, that would have kind of been fun. Come back to Van Horn with basically nothing, and you're starting over. But you know, you are starting over essentially in the epilogue. Here are the boys.
It is a miracle. It is a goddamn.
I do believe Dutch is genuinely happy to see Arthur.
Have a drink. Somebody give him a goddamn drink.
Micah, not so much.
Oh, son. Son, take it easy.
They found a source of fresh water somewhere. And look at that beautiful surf. Levi Elijah says, I like the end, the whole shootout and the battleship.
Where the hell are we?
Yeah, you get to play with cannons.
On the island of Guarma.
There are cannons in Red Dead 1.
It's
And I think in many ways this chapter parallels John's time in Mexico in Red Dead 1. It's like a compressed version of the Mexico chapter of Red Dead 1.
What next?
But set in Guarma.
No. Well, Next, I guess we're gonna get shot.
Encadenen a estos hombres.
Gentlemen, this is
Don't forget to
Private
grab
Wilson.
one of these
Who are
hats.
you?
Senor, por favor, we are no one.
The
What's
sun
your name?
hat.
Aiden.
This will be your
O'Malley.
only
Is that
opportunity.
so?
Well,
What are
this
you
chapter
doing,
will be your only
Mr.
opportunity.
O'Malley?
Surviving. We were lost at sea. In the storm.
There are also some animals here.
No.
There's a boa
I'm in the habit of
constrictor
looking like this.
and a couple
Is all of
birds.
this really necessary?
There are no
Got enough
plants. You would think
troubles
so.
around here right now, Mr.
Some of these
O'Malley,
exotic
without
flowers
taking a
would be
chance on a bunch
available.
of vagabonds. Behave yourselves and no harm will befall you. Vamos. Vamos. Vámonos. Muévanse.
You and me both.
Always loved that cutscene, that scene. The sunny climbs of Guarma. Levi Elijah says, I have 10 levels until I can get the horse. I should get it tomorrow. I level up like every hour. Yeah, they want to keep you in the game. They want to keep you they want to keep you
Got them
playing.
chained and lashed, but they don't look too dangerous. Excuse me, sir.
That's capitalism.
Friends here? What crime did they commit?
I believe in the next cutscene, Arthur will have one of those hats because we grabbed one of those guards' hats. There's two different ones, and there's only one can keep. The one on the left side of the screen is the one you want to get.
Everyone
See,
okay?
Arthur's wearing it now.
Damn. Reinforcements. Mon Dieu. We need to get out of here. Now we're in
And
trouble.
we meet the rebels, just like John. It's the exact same scenario, except on Guarma in the Caribbean. And ironically, Bill and Javier are there.
Go, go.
I should point that out. I am going to make a bunch of Red Dead 1 versus Red Dead 2 videos once I finish playing. I did make a Red Dead 1 short, which you may have seen this morning, where Dutch talks about Abigail.
Come on. Follow me. Quick.
Dutch is in a lot better shape in Red Dead 1 than he was at the end of the epilogue.
I have
Lost a
no
little
idea.
weight.
Running from somebody or something, I guess.
How went we on? Hercule Fontaine.
Also, there's a completely new location that is unavailable in Red Dead 2, Cochine, up in the mountains of tall trees. That's completely off the map for us.
Well, Fusa will be desperate to find you. We must be very careful.
So, who is this Fusar?
A tyrant, driven by nothing but power and greed. Our only purpose is to work ourselves to death to make him rich.
Leon wants the people to stand up to
Yeah,
Fusa,
Colonel
but most are
Fusar,
too afraid.
Captain Allende.
I am not from here. I bring things in and off the islands behind Colonel Fusa's
I do
back.
think this whole chapter is a reference to Red Dead 1 and just a way to keep the game
Down there is Aqua Dolce, Fusa's compound. The sugarcane
bookended.
these poor men kill themselves farming gets processed in that factory there.
They're little more than slaves shipped in from other islands. A group escaped yesterday into the jungle, hoping to find a way back to their homes.
Now Fusa's men are out hunting them down. That old fort? Cinco Torres. My men and I use that as a hideout when
Levi Elijah says, I think I'm a nerd of Red Dead Redemption. I have 1,960 hours of playing the game.
I don't see you have any choice.
Well, you love this
I am
game,
the only one who can
and
arrange a boat
you
for
have found
But
your
I need something in return.
channel and
Help
your
Leon
home
with that
for
group
this
of escape
game.
workers, and then come meet me at the fort.
If you help us get back our friend and get out of here, we will do everything we can.
Glad you're here, friend.
If your friend is still alive, they will have him at Fusa's compound. There is a cave hidden below the cliffs. It will lead you right there.
Thank you.
The workers are somewhere in the jungle. Hopefully we can get to them before Fusa does.
Of course.
Gentlemen,
Well,
goodbye.
if this is a tropical paradise, so far it ain't up to much.
I'll go scope the entrance to that cave.
His dumb Micah
I need to get some
with his
rest.
dumb mustache. Arthur has his hat though. Arthur's happy.
We all need to relax. What a mess. I am so sorry, boys.
Get some sleep, Dutch.
Dutch has lost control.
Guard
He
this
hates
spot.
that.
Bill, do
So
some
the
more
first thing he
scouting.
wants to do is
Carefully.
he's pressured to get back into control. Get back at least some semblance of control. Arthur dreams once more of the good honor buck.
Hey,
Hey,
And move on.
What's the plan?
well, I found the cave Hercule spoke of, and also a guide. She's up ahead. I think we can trust her. Follow me. The entrance is along here. Just watch your footing.
so what do we do when we get hot?
One loose end from this cutscene that has always bothered me is Dutch never recovers the gold,
Set sail for the one
and
place
Arthur doesn't have
where
a
nobody's
chance to
gonna
loot
be
that woman
expecting us.
and collect the gold that Dutch just
Get
gave her.
everybody
That
together.
he wouldn't do that. It's very out of
Ourselves
character.
back on course.
Where would that be?
You're not going to give her your last ingot of gold and then kill her and not get your gold back.
If it was you got left, you'd want us to go back.
I'd want it, but I wouldn't expect it.
That's the point. Ain't no one gonna expect it. We come back from the dead, gather everyone, and we leave before anyone realizes we've even resurrected.
An insect bite you or something? Cause you gone, friend.
We look like what we are. A bunch of desperados on the run.
Spent the day playing Red Dead 1.
A change of clothes. We're a choir or a gang of pilgrims or something.
We're a little over 50%.
Whatever you say.
We're in Blackwater.
Bunch of penniless fugitives on some
Searching
creepy
for
dump.
Dutch.
Sneaking through caves while two of our best men got shot back home. How could I doubt you, Dutch?
You got no idea, Arthur. No idea at all. I will do whatever it takes for us to survive.
I guess that's what I'm afraid of.
Hold on.
Why?
Like that.
Gloria!
Like that scene of just the silhouettes, them in shadow, entering darkness. Here comes the scary lady. Perhaps she is a bruja.
Aquí.
See, yeah. You should get that gold and get back.
Oh, it's genuine, you old hag.
Smells like gold.
Vamos, vamos, rápido.
Now that gold right there, that's the last bit of gold I have in my pocket from the bank. The rest of it is
The bottom of the sea.
exactly.
What was that?
See, at this point,
Gold chrome.
But you
or
killed
right before,
gonna
you should
betray
be able
us,
to
Arthur.
loot that body
How'd you tell?
and get that gold ingot.
Well, I got some Spanish. She was.
You keep killing folk, Dutch.
I am just trying to make sure that some of us survive, Arthur.
It's possible, perhaps after this cutscene, you could go back down into the well or the tunnel or whatever that is and loot the body, but I don't think so.
Son, you think I want any of this?
I don't know.
I don't think it's
Of course I
available
don't.
anymore.
But I made a pledge to you all.
And
we would
right at this
survive,
moment, when they
no matter
let
what.
you go,
So how did you know she was gonna betray us? What'd she say?
It was in her eyes. in the
and
way
Dutch
she
would
was
be
leading
saying
us.
something, Arthur,
But
what are
you
you
said you
doing?
used
Get
Spanish.
up here.
I know human beings, Arthur.
Are you gonna strangle me next?
I'm doing the best I can.
I wasn't really thinking about it at the time, was very distracted.
I do not understand. Who are you? I come from Mexico. I never met those men. Does anyone believe him? Mr. Simon doesn't believe you. Even the mule doesn't
There's
believe
a
you.
donkey. And Colonel Fusar. Javier's taking a beating.
Deja de actuar. Sabemos que no estuvo tan fuerte.
He's fine.
Fue
He's
bastante
tough.
duro.
No, la próxima vez será aún más duro.
Bueno, ha sido un placer. Siempre me encantaron los mexicanos.
Levi Elisha says, I wonder where Odog is. I think Marco is still in Greece. He alternates between Greece and Serbia. He has family in Serbia. And he works in Greece. But that's not, like, the whole of Europe fits into Texas. So, like, going from Greece to Serbia is like going from Florida to Louisiana. Or California to, I wouldn't say Arizona, probably Oregon. Distance is more compressed, easily traveled in Europe. And I like this guy. Calm down. Arthur can also take a beating. It's not a... And Arthur says his name is Leviticus Cornwall. I'm an American.
My name is Leviticus Cornwall.
It's interesting that he didn't choose Tacitus Kilroy or Arthur Callahan.
You okay?
I don't know.
Maybe there's still time to get to the other workers.
Oh yeah, I think I hear voices coming from the other ruins down there. Let's sneak down and take a look.
Which way?
I'll show you. Baptiste, you don't look good. You should rest here.
Okay. You'll need this. Go. Go.
Come, follow me. Vengan, hermanos. Estarán bien. Este gringo valiente le salvó la vida.
Thank you, my friend. I'm Baptiste. I work with Hercule. We owe you our lives.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure.
Free the rebels.
This place.
One aspect of this chapter versus Red Dead 1 is we don't play both sides. We are only on the rebels side.
Here. This is for you. Thanks. It's not
And if
much,
you wanted to
just
make
the
this
least
chapter
we can do.
longer and you
Good
wanted
luck
to
getting
parallel Red Dead 1, Dutch would have probably tried to make a deal with Colonel Fassar and been betrayed. Just like John in Red Dead 1. Also, the only difference is John isn't here. John is in jail. John is on Sisika. But, it's not... This isn't really John's story. It's Arthur's story. So in a way, it's Arthur's version of Red Dead 1, except in Guarma, not in Mexico.
Silence him, then I can help you escape before anyone has time to get here from America. That way,
And technically, it's in Nueva Paraíso, a fictional state or district of Mexico.
Fuso has called in the Navy from Cuba. There's no way a boat could leave right now.
New Paradise, Nueva Paraíso means New Paradise. New Austin is on the other side of that river.
Damn! There's a whole lot more of them turning up. This don't look good, fellas.
Then if you get the Ultimate Edition, you get the Nueva Paraíso outfit and saddle, which of course is a red, tribute to Red Dead 1, or a reference at least.
Getting closer. What do we do? Two of us must go and use the cannon.
You go, Arthur. I'll gladly hold them off this beach a while longer. You sure?
Here are your battleships.
You make the cannon. I'll get you some more shot.
Looked like Bill had a bolt action there.
We need to put a serious hole in that bucket.
Micah says, hello, greetings friend, happy Monday. Appreciate you being here. Just kind of hanging out in chapter 5.
Come on.
It's the shortest chapter for missions and cutscenes.
Thank you.
What now?
Oh, they'll be back. But
Ironically, we don't spend that much time in Guarma, but it does seem like
Micah, go meet with the captain. If he's amenable
we
and discreet, tell him we'll be
we
ready
spend
to
more
set
time here
sail
than
soon.
is necessary
Bill, come help me
because the
collect
game's on
Javier.
the game is on hold,
It was a great pleasure.
or the story mode's on hold. You know, everyone, you know, you're mourning Hosea and Lenny. You're wondering about Mary Beth and Tilly and Sadie and all the rest of them, but we're almost out of here. It's only like 3 or 4 missions. And this chapter ends horribly in Beaver Hollow. So there's not really anything to collect other than that hat and a couple unique animals. And the cutscene will dump you directly into the next mission.
I thought I was dead for sure.
Boys,
We got a real problem. Nice, Mr. Boussard.
Or
don't want
rather,
us
the
going
last
over.
mission of
He knows just who we
Guarma.
are. If he can keep us
It
here for a
moves
few
really
more
fast,
days,
especially in
What about the
cutscenes.
captain of the ship here?
They got him trussed up like a hog. Guards all over the place. Got us surrounded with gun positions, so when we try to sail out, he's gonna blow holes in us.
This fella is really beginning to try my patience. He ain't even had you tortured yet.
I like the man's style. It's thorough, nasty, vindictive. However,
And I mentioned it before,
in
but
this
you know, if
instance,
you
I
take
don't
out
see
Colonel
any
Fusari, you
alternative
create a
but
power
we go
vacuum.
and free our friendly captain and destroy
And
the artillery.
The country or the
Once I
island
agree
will
with you,
descend into chaos
Oh, I'll fight Alberto
as various
Fusari
factions
every day.
fight for leadership
Bill, you're gonna guard Javier on the ship
and the
here.
rebels fight
Micah,
amongst
Arthur,
themselves.
Let's get to work.
So
Cool?
they're not
Follow
doing
Anale, this way.
a great thing here. But it was necessary because they had to escape. And Colonel Fusar was
You got it secured
in the way.
properly,
Miko
cowboy?
Herptile says,
I think
"Howdy,
so.
fellers.
Knowing you,
Miko's here. Greetings,
I have my
Miko.
doubts.
Happy Tuesday for you. Shout out to the Philippines. Appreciate you being here, friend." This is a short live stream. Chapter 5 is the shortest chapter in the game. See, we're almost out of here. But Dutch is going to have one of my favorite lines of chapter 5.
now, you bastard.
We are all bastards, my friend.
But only one of us.
But only one of us is some would-be emperor's whore.
We know who you are.
And nobody knows.
And nobody knows who you are.
Not even your goddamn father.
Not even your father.
You maggots are going to die.
Eventually, I'm sure
We get our Tarantino-inspired Mexican standoff. There's also one of these in Red Dead 1 with Langdon Hughes. And
I'm sure they are. Which
is his name Langdon Hughes?
you're going to let us
It's not.
leave.
I know it's not. Red Dead 1. Langdon Ricketts. Who's Langdon Hughes?
You saved my life. Thank you, Captain.
I suppose you men are my cargo.
Dutch Vanderlyn, I am sorry.
And the captain is wearing the same sweater
Let's go.
as the fence in Van Horn. They shop at the same shop. Or perhaps they are brothers.
Hey, Fusari's up there.
In the tower?
Yes. Yes, that's it.
Mr. Pearson also has a similar sweater. It might just be a nautical theme. And then again, it might be the devs just cutting the pasty. And that's the last we see of Colonel Fusar. Unless he escaped.
Captain.
Not our problem,
handle
though.
the ship?
I'll be fine. Come on. We'll get going with the tide before I get any more surprise interviews with
And we
local
take this boat and the
officials.
game dumps us back into
We'll be
Van
like-
Horn.
We'll disappear probably. Back to Haiti. Believe me. We'll be long
Technically,
gone.
our introduction to the area, Van Horn and Annisburg.
survived. Just about.
The ride back to Shady Belle
What now?
is technically a cutscene, which is not included
What now? I mean,
in this video because that's the only song in the entire game
One by one.
that we do not have the rights to,
we don't cut and run
or we're
now.
not allowed to
Blackwater.
No,
to make a video or broadcast.
because
May I stand unshaken? Ironically, it's also one of the greatest songs.
we've been on the run for a while now. It feels like our luck is turning. You know, it ain't turning back. I had a good run of it, I guess. We ain't even played our hand yet.
I mean, you can make a video on it, but it's instant demonetization, though they will still run ads on it.
Broke, alone, they're gonna pick us off one by one.
And part of that
Not.
revenue goes goes directly to YouTube and to the artist,
Try to track down the rest. But
which is fine, I guess.
carefully. See if they sent any mail. Arthur, you check Shady Belle. We'll find each other.
But it's not worth
eventually.
the effort for me.
And then what?
Then we meet up. We gather the family. We get some money and get the hell
Dutch
out of
making
there.
a plan
That's the plan.
again, trying to
You're all
take
acting
back
crazy.
control
And that's not what I thought
of
we were gonna be doing
We have
here.
been in a bad way.
elements that are out of his control.
I will kill for my family. Any of you want to judge me for that? That's fine. But that is who I am. Anyone disagree? Anyone?
Arthur really needs a shave, but he has his hat, so he's happy. And we have the free, complimentary piebald Tobiano Hungarian half-breed. First playthrough, we got that horse. I mean, it's right there waiting for us, but I thought for sure we'd get a wanted level for stealing that horse. Love how Arthur says thank you here. It just kind of gives a tip of the hat. And welcome to Van Horn.
Caroline.
Dear Uncle Tacitus, Pinkerton's hot on our trail.
Look, those are fresh footprints. Looks like someone might be here right now.
Sure, someone is here. There's always someone everywhere.
Well, let's look around and see if we can find something for Mr. Milton.
Mr. Milton. I'd like to find a poisonous snake for him.
That's enough, Mr. Johns. You take
I
Mr.
suppose we
Bunter
could
and
take
search
all
around
these
back.
guys out
Let's head inside, gentlemen.
and if I were doing another playthrough, I probably would just for fun. But this playthrough, I was more focused on story and the commentary. And in first playthrough, I was just wondering what would happen next, and I wanted to go to LeGras and just move the story forward, see what happens to Arthur. That is a fine horse. It is one of my favorite horses to get for Arthur, if we cannot get Biscuit. I probably like that horse better than the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred, if we are to be honest. I like the black and white theme.
Arthur's here.
I like multicolored horses, I think.
You're alive.
Just about.
Come inside. Come on, it's raining. Hey, everybody, look
Mr.
who's
Pearson
here.
chopping up fish stew.
Hey, old man, wake up.
Hey, Arthur, they got John.
To see you.
Yeah,
Says hello.
he got arrested.
A hug for
Hung yet?
Not yet. They
a
moved
hug
him
for
to
Charles.
He's been working on a chain gang.
And I like how he teases his uncle, who's relaxing in a hammock, and they feed him and they catch up. And Bill was shooting his mouth off and brought the Pinkertons down on him. Girls are working. Note.
They got John.
Okay.
Levi Elijah says, I like to name it Oreo. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good
Find
name.
each other. What happened? Can
Dutch is
somebody
back.
Get me a cup of coffee or something.
But where's Molly, I wonder?
After the robbery in Saint Denis, she got us away from the camp.
Also note Charles's new haircut.
Then Mrs. Adler and Mr. Smith
Sporting a mohawk now.
the degenerates
He is part of Team
Mrs.
Mohawk.
Adler, we owe you.
Yes.
Sadie is now battle tested, but we didn't see any of those.
It's been real hard, Dutch.
Those we just hear about it
We've been
secondhand.
surviving, but only just. What we gonna do?
Things have been tough. There ain't no doubt about that. Trust me. I am gonna get us out of here.
And Dutch has a final plan.
Ain't none of
It
you
involves.
folks interested in our adventures?
He doesn't know yet.
Interested in escaping the hangmen on our tail?
Cheerful nymph of the prairie, wasn't you, Abigail?
Oh, sure. My fair heart jumps for joy when I set eyes on you, Micah. We buried Hosea, Dutch. Charles and I stole his body from the law one night and gave him a proper burial. It was real nice.
Well, here you is. Well, I asked everyone I could find, and eventually someone
Bill
knew
still has his
that
bolt
you
action.
fools were out here. Shit! Give me a drink or something.
Get your own damn drink.
In our absence, Mrs. Adler here has been looking after things. Now sit.
Levi Elijah says, I never knew that he got a haircut. Yeah.
Already?
Charles approaches his final form, along with Mrs. Adler.
The United States government and the Commonwealth of West Elizabeth.
Here we go.
We are here to arrest you.
Pinkertons arrive with a Gatling gun.
Give them to a count of 5, then give them everything.
What are we dual wielding? I don't even remember. I believe it was Flacco's gun and Volcanic. I really like the Volcanic in early playthroughs. Very accurate.
There's no escape for any of you. I shall hunt you to the ends of the earth and the end of time.
Fast reload. But honestly, if I'm gonna fight, I would prefer a long gun. Like we're doing now. I love how Sadie throws in the gun and Arthur catches it two-handed. They just a little visual shorthand to show how familiar they are with each other and how well they work together. Miko says Arthur looks awful now. The exertions of Guarma seem to have accelerated his TB. Yes, I believe so. It's kind of ironic since Guarma is a warm place and could have helped, but he wasn't diagnosed yet. Yeah, Miko, it's warm, but it's humid. You know, there's a high humidity because it's in the tropics. And Arthur needs a dry heat. Arthur needs a desert heat for his lungs. So it accelerated it because it just added more moisture. There's too much moisture in the air for Arthur. Swamp isn't helping either. Or where they're headed, Annisburg, it rains too much. That's why I assumed we would free roam with Arthur in New Austin, where it's dry, and the owl trinket that Rainsfalls gives him would somehow cure him, or at least, you know, stop him from getting worse. Micah says, probably very uncomfortable to live on Guarma. It's uncomfortable politically, but it's a lot like other islands I could mention. Tropical islands. It is technically a tropical island paradise. It's just in the Caribbean, not the Pacific.
Yes, now. You made Doyle's Tavern a million avenue.
Okay.
I would assume Guarma is close to Cuba.
My lord, what a goddamn mess. Everything. Not
Arthur
sure
writing
where
in
to
his
begin.
journal.
Whole thing has been hard on all of us.
I always like these transitions, even though they're very sad. Now we have 2 horses we need to deal with. I'm going to give this one to Miss Tilly. At least in my mind, that's what we do. And this isn't technically a cutscene, but I like it because Dutch is making moves in his head. He's trying to play 4D chess, except it just comes across as it's going a little crazy.
Working it all out. Once and for all, Arthur.
Metro says I left, so I completely missed Guarma. And Levi says I think the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 3 should be Arthur because the epilogue had been the previous characters, so it should be Arthur. I agree, friend.
The Pinkertons and their benefactor, the depressing millionaire Leviticus Cornwall, they want us, Arthur. They want us. And they are going to have us.
Maybe they ain't the problem.
Meaning?
I don't know. It's just.
Also note how
I can't help it.
Charles and Arthur found Clement's Point. Now they're going to do a final ride and find their next home, Beaver Hollow, which is a lot more work to clean out than Clement's Point was, let me tell you. But I'm sure you know.
You sound like Hosea. I miss.
No worries, Metro.
What do you think?
We can't stay here. That much is obvious. Where are we gonna run to? I mean, they chased us from the west. They chased us over the mountains. They ran us into the sea.
Arthur, do you have my back?
Always, Dutch. But there's more than your back to worry about. We need more money. We've been on the run for months now, and I seen you.
But your lucky O-Dog isn't here.
Like you always told
He
me
would have gotten rid of that comment
sorry,
and may have timed you out.
There is country in Roanoke Ridge.
He stays on top of the chat.
I believe we could hold.
Okay.
You and Charles, you take.
Though the chat is very well behaved, I compliment you. Simply because it's subscribers only. We haven't really had any problems that I can recall since I initiated that.
I need time and no traitors.
Like this transition. Arthur and Charles working together. Micah says, what was the very first video on this channel? It was a montage of Arthur crashing a wagon. It's still up. You can watch it. I don't talk on it. I talk on the second one. And I sound horrible. I was using an iPhone. I didn't have a microphone. So I just used my iPhone and I just tried to wing it. So I didn't sound very confident. It took a while for me to get comfortable on the mic.
Let's get on with this.
Metro says I usually ride on horse for this. Yeah, but you can. However, the canoe ride is more culturally significant to Native Americans on the East Coast. You gotta rescue this poor woman, of course.
It's okay.
Micah says, I'm gonna try and watch it later. Okay, Micah.
You're safe.
Sounds like a plan. Arthur rescues a lot of women in this game. What's that about? I like how dirty her face is, but the tears kind of like her tear-stained, dirty face. They saved her from innumerable horrors, and she's already seen innumerable horrors.
Where are you from?
Annisburg.
What do we do with her?
Take her there and go get the others.
Sure.
Just a bunch of inbred cannibal weirdos.
Miss. You okay to ride
Let's
on
move
horse?
on.
I'll keep you safe.
This horse is nothing special. He picked it up in Beaver Hollow.
Right? Yes.
Oh. Thank God.
And of course we're not going to accept a reward. I'm surprised they even offer it.
It's near the blacksmith.
Micah says the Murphys are definitely the craziest gang in the game. Yes, the Murphys along with the Skinner brothers. I believe they worship the same pagan god.
How did you manage to?
Metro Edit says, I'm going to leave. Are you going to finish the game this stream? No, Metro. We will return on Friday with the Chapter 6 cutscenes, but I appreciate you being here, friend. You have a great week. Levi Elijah says, I wish these streams could last forever. I have fun listening to you and the chat. Yeah, there are some streamers who do like crazy 10, 12, 24-hour streams, sleep streams. I don't think I could do it. But I appreciate you being here, Levi. And we stream Friday through Monday for about 2 hours. I try to do 2 hours per stream. This Saturday, I believe we will watch Terminator Salvation, a Terminator movie where they tried to reboot the franchise without Arnold and failed miserably. But it's still a pretty cool movie if you like Terminators.
How you get on?
Okay. Found a girl. Took her home.
Christian Bale doing a version of Bruce Wayne as John Connor.
I think maybe I found our old friend
I like
Mr.
it.
Cornwall.
Did?
Yeah, he's buying a stake in the mine in Annisburg.
Relentlessly ambitious fella, isn't he?
Mike and I'll sniff about, see if he knows
And
we're here.
in case you were wondering where Molly was,
Did you miss me?
I found her.
here she comes.
You're back. How jolly, Miss O'Shea.
Uncle found her.
Sucker shit.
Back
Who
and
are you?
drunk.
The Master, the Lord
Molly.
God Almighty.
Calm down.
I won't be ignored. Dutch Vanderlyn, I ain't him. I ain't her. Or any of your stooges.
Calm
You
yourself.
don't owe me nothing.
Miss.
I don't know you.
Part of the problem was Dutch wouldn't listen to her, and she lost the support of the girls because she was with Dutch. So she was isolated. She had no one.
Now I've got God's ear.
Told who what?
Mr. Milton and Mr. Ross about the bank robbery, and I wanted them to kill you.
You did what?
I loved you, you goddamn bastard.
And of course,
God,
she's
shit
lying.
me.
Micah says, still don't understand why Molly did this. Well, Micah, you're lucky because you never dated a crazy woman. She did it because she wanted attention from Dutch, and any attention was better than no attention. And she finally got his attention by saying that. Except she was lying, and then
She knew the rules.
Miss Grimshaw,
What the hell
I'm
is
sure
wrong with you?
she broke the rules,
Mr.
Arthur,
Mr.
but
Williamson, get
I'm
this
sure it
body
preyed
out of
on
here
her,
and get it
on her,
burnt.
Okay.
on
Now
her
get
soul
back
and
to work,
character.
all of you.
This is one of her
Quit your
girls.
lollygagging.
She brought her in.
Get back to work.
It's pretty much a horrible way to start the next chapter. And just a preview of things to come. It's all downhill from here, friends. Regrettably. Till we get to the epilogue. At any rate, there are fun aspects to Chapter 6. It is pound for pound the greatest chapter in terms of gameplay and challenging missions. We shall return. Oh, let's see. Levi Elijah says, I remember being 10 in 2013, and me and my dad was watching a cowboy movie, and he said that one of the characters was John. Oh, that's interesting. You should talk to your dad and see what movie that was. We shall return on Friday with the cutscene Chapter 6, which is the longest cutscene and chapter in the game. It'll be about almost 3 hours, so we're going to do a giant live stream on Friday. Terminator Salvation on Saturday for movie night. Miko says, thanks for the stream. Miko, thank you for being here. Cutscenes on Sunday. No, actually, strike that. We will be doing a Red Dead Redemption 1 stream on Friday, and the cutscenes will return on Saturday and Monday. Appreciate all of you being here, friends.